I'm Marleigh,
And I'm Tess.
and welcome to Book Emporium, where your hosts learned how to talk in a helicopter.
Today is our episode coming from a bed.
Yes, we have built a blanket fort in Tess's bedroom.
No pillow was spared. I'm sitting on a giant stuffed Pikachu.
I can just see him peering over your shoulder.
It's just eyes looking at you from back. He's got very big ears, too. I think there's metal rods in there holding up. Pikachu is a structural component of this fort.
As he should be, and I feel like he should bear witness to what we're going to talk about today.
Oh, God. This can go many ways. All right, yeah, let's traumatize this plushie.
So many different directions. So just in case you guys don't know what we do here yet at Book Emporium, we describe smutty books to each other that the other one has never read. And today it's going to be my turn to tell Tess about a book that I read and really, really loved. Today, I will be summarizing Bonded by Thorns.
Oh,
This is a book by sister authors Elizabeth Helen, who I had the pleasure of interviewing them in grad school, and they are the sweetest, most genuine human beings ever. They are delightful. Please go buy their books, not just because their books are fantastic, but because they themselves are lovely.
So it's sister authors
Elizabeth and Helen. So they go by
Elizabeth and Helen.
Yeah, so their pen name is Elizabeth Helen. So they're two first names together.
That's so sweet.
Really, really cute.
I like that.
Yes. Bonded by Thorns is a steamy adult Beauty and the Beast retelling set in a fantasy fae realm. When Rosalina O'Connell's father goes missing and she stumbles into the fae realm, she trades herself for him and is imprisoned by a beautiful but terrifying fae prince who shares his castle with 3 other fae princes. Under a curse by a mysterious enchantress, the princes must find their mate to break it, and Rosalina is determined to help them so she can go home, but finds herself falling in love with all of them instead.
Oh my God. First of all, I really love fairy tale retellings. It's like a secret passion of mine, pleasure. I love fairy tale retellings, but reverse harem. What? Yes, please.
And this one's really gay. I think you're going to like it.
The queerer a book can be, the more my heart sings. So
You're going to love this. Content index: sexual content, violence, and references to emotional, physical, and verbal abuse within a romantic relationship. For a full list of content information, please visit the author's website. We open with Rosalina sitting at the counter of the bookstore she works at. She's about 5'11" with brown hair and brown eyes, so she's a tall queen.
she is.
And she is an avid reader who lives in a sleepy town called Orca Cove that she has never left. So while she's sitting there at her job, a pair of bitchy women come into the shop and ask her if she ever gets a day off and if her father George is still frog shit crazy out there hunting fairies. Rosalina brushes them off, but is embarrassed because her father is indeed crazy and hunting fairies. She muses about how she doesn't really have many friends that she's close to anymore since they all moved away for college, and she's still stuck at the Seagull's Gullet Book Emporium. Oh my God, I said Emporium.
I was just about to say, I was really? It's called that?
Decidedly not. The Seagull's Gullet Book Emporium. This podcast is ruining my vernacular.
We're all turning into slurred smut brain.
So she goes to check on the 2 shoppers who are gossiping about her between the stacks and overhears them talking about how her father's at fault for the fact that she's still living in this small town working at a bookstore. They comment on how beautiful she is and also mention someone named Lucas Poussin, Rosalina's ex-boyfriend, whom the bitches agree was the best thing that ever happened to her, quote unquote.
Mm-hmm.
Rosalina doesn't confront them even though she wants to, and we find out through her thoughts that Lucas actually saved her life once.
That's nice. I can't believe these bitches are standing 19 inches away from her and be like, remember her ex? He was so much better than her. You're going to someone's place of work. At least keep the shit talk outside.
It's bold. It's very brazen of them.
Yeah, I feel they know what's up. This is a town of catty bitches.
For real. Later on, while she's closing, her shitbag boss Richard is there doing inventory and goes off on her for ordering romance books for the shop. He all but threatens to fire her and calls romances, quote, mindless, unrealistic garbage.
We hate these people.
Fuck you, Richard. Once again, Rosalina doesn't stand up for herself, but is pushed to the point of almost tears, and she says she'll send them back tomorrow.
Aww. She's being bullied by her boss.
And the people that live in the town. Like
and everybody.
Everybody's bullying her. It's not cool.
No.
She has the thought that dealing with her is probably the worst part of her boss's day. And even more depressingly, that's what Lucas, her apparently wonderful ex, used to say to her. So he's a fucking prince.
Oh my God. So it's just low self-esteem Sally.
She's really not having a good day.
No.
As she walks home in the rain, she thinks about her dad's habit of coming home between travels, wrecking the house with maps and books, and then fucking off again to go hunt fairies while Rosalina supports them financially. Her dad, whom the town calls Crazy George, believes that his wife, her mother, was taken by the Fae when Rosalina was little. Rosalina gave up her college fund to keep their house from being foreclosed on and stayed in Orca Cove for him.
Gosh, she is giving up everything to stay in this garbage town with people who hate her, just to be with her dad who believes in the fairy equivalent of my wife was abducted by a UFO.
Essentially, yes. Rosalina dreams of opening a library because there is not one in Orca Cove and has a little free library that her dad built for her. But unfortunately, as she's walking home, she finds it wrecked with books strewn everywhere and graffiti that says, "The fairies did it."
Oh, bullshit. I mean, I don't know, but bullshit.
Bullshit.
Bullshit. No fairies got time for that.
No, they're too busy with other things. Rosalina's having a really shit day, and to make matters worse, her ex Lucas rolls up in his truck. The town worships Lucas, and her only identity outside of being Crazy George's daughter was Lucas's girlfriend, which she was until he dumped her right before going off to university. He's left the big city behind because his previous job, quote, didn't understand his vision, but doesn't tell her how long he's staying and instead just kind of orders her to join him for dinner at the lodge, his family's business, tomorrow with her dad if he's around. Then he just leaves her standing there in the rain.
You know, as you do, driving off in your truck.
The douchebag trifecta. This guy is hitting every point.
He's playing some music that's "My heart's broken."
He listens exclusively to Morgan Wallen. No offense to anybody who likes Morgan Wallen. The next night, Rosalina goes to the lodge, and it's not a dinner that she's been invited to, but a full-on party that Lucas is throwing.
Don't you love it when you show up underdressed?
To a surprise party.
Yeah.
That's like not for you.
Great.
So fun. She's confused by this, but when she sees him and he hugs her, we get a flashback to when he left for college, and Rosalina was crying and devastated as he broke up with her. And he told her he'd find a way for her to remember him forever and used a knife to carve his name into her arm.
Okay. Ooh, that's a lot.
Yeah, so
That's a lot more than I expected.
Yes, it's pretty intense. And so if we had any doubt that Lucas was the human form of pond scum, now we know for certain. He kisses and gropes her and then says they have to get back to their party, not his.
Oh boy.
Lucas gets up on a table to give a speech and tells everyone he's finally officially back to run the lodge for his parents. Then he gets down on one knee and proposes to Rosalina in front of the entire town.
Girl, run.
I know, right? Seriously.
Like, you're not even in a relationship anymore. And he's, hold on, let me whip out this ring.
Obviously, we as the reader, we're hearing all of these terrible things about him. Anybody who's ever been in a toxic or abusive relationship knows it's never that simple, right?
No, and the one time when everybody treated her nicely was
when
she was with Douche Canoe.
Yeah, when she was in a relationship with him, because again, the town loves this guy.
Yeah.
And on one hand, she finally wouldn't be an outcast as Lucas's wife, and that's very appealing. But he also carved his fucking name into her arm and has generally been an abusive piece of shit.
Yeah, so a little bit, a little column A, a little column B. You know, you gotta weigh some things. To an outside person, you're like, hey, I gotta talk to you, baby girl.
You okay? Rosalina's stunned because, as you just said, they're not in a relationship. They broke up years ago. He comes back and he's just like, yeah, no, I'm going to propose to you and you're going to say yes.
So what age are they?
They're in their 20s.
Gotcha.
And before Rosalina is forced to answer, they're interrupted by the butcher's son, Thomas, who bursts in to tell Rosalina that he's found her father's jacket in the woods and it's splattered with blood.
No. Poor Daddy-O.
The next chapter is from a new perspective, a character named Caldarian. I know that it's pronounced Caldarian because very helpfully, Elizabeth Helen uploaded a video a couple of days ago saying, this is how you pronounce all of the characters' names. And I was, oh, thank fucking God.
Excellent.
I would have spent the whole episode calling him Caldarian instead of Caldarian. It is Caldarian.
So that's the official. And then whatever anybody does in their own head is up to them. And legally, no one can stop you.
Exactly.
If you have a preference.
I will never make fun of anybody who learned words and mispronounced them from reading because I, for a very embarrassingly long time, we're talking into my early 30s, thought the word lapel was pronounced lapel.
That's an easy one to do. Often when you learn it incorrectly, it sticks. It fucking sticks.
It really does. And
then
so
you're like the colonel. The colonel of the Marine Corps. And then you're stuck with that, and that lives in your mind.
1, 2, 3, 4, we love the Marine Corps. So back to this dick. Caldarian's pissed off because a human man is on his lawn in Castletree in the Enchanted Vale, and the other 3 princes, Ezrin, Dayton, and Farron, are occupied, so he has to deal with it.
Dayton is a little linguistically different from Farron.
His full first name is Daytonels.
Oh, okay. That makes more sense.
He just goes by Dayton or Day.
Ooh, I like Day a lot.
Yeah, it suits him.
I do like that I called out. That's a nickname.
You knew. You've read enough porn to know your names.
That's less fairy than the rest of them. And, oh, no. The long form is.
Nay. It's the most fairy of all of them.
It's the most. That's some high octane fairy.
The man who's wandered into the castle is calling out for help and says that he was attacked by goblins. And Caldarian is ready to make his night worse because Caldarian is some kind of white furry beast.
Okay.
The servants, who are all animals, tell him they should offer the man hot tea and somewhere to rest away from the goblins. But Caldarian's got a Real Housewives marathon he can't miss or some shit because he's like, nah, the human goes. He's pissy not only because this human is fucking up his night, but because of the fact that a human got in at all means that the Briar, their home, and the realm's magic is weakening.
He's just out there furious. What are these human children doing on my lawn?
You smell, get out.
I'm going to turn into a monster and eat you. I'd rather you die.
To make matters worse, the human man, who's definitely Rosalina's father, George, takes a rose from the banister to take home to his daughter because she asked for one.
Don't steal things.
This sends Caldarian over the edge, and he confronts George and tells him to leave. George says he's just looking for his wife and that he's made it into the Enchanted Vale where the fairies live, and he can't leave without her. Caldarian attacks, planning to drag him out of the castle and leave him there. But he sees George is wearing a moonstone rose necklace and, under the guise of punishing him for theft, drags him to the dungeon instead.
I'm so invested. I don't even want to talk. I just want to listen.
We shift to Rosalina again, and Thomas, the butcher's son, is leading her to where he found her father's jacket in the woods. Lucas is also there for some reason with a gun.
He seems like he would just have one at all times. Unsecured, not in a lockbox.
You're not wrong.
Fully loaded, probably pointed at everyone.
Let's hope he blows his dick and balls off with it.
Oh no, an accident.
There's a bumper sticker I've seen that says, "My wife left me when I blew my entire dick and balls off at Cracker Barrel." It's fantastic.
First of all, who's putting that on their cars? Second of all,
Me.
Can I shake their hand?
They discover a red rose bush that's blooming in October, which Rosalina knows is odd because she knows stuff about botany that I don't. And she starts to crawl through it because there's something of a tunnel there, which suggests it may be where her father went through. Lucas follows her, even though nobody invited him.
The thought process of, these are out of season. Let's get in the hole.
She's a simple lady. She sees a hole, she's going in.
Yeah, honestly, I would. It sounds like an adventure.
Faye, please abduct me. Take me away
Good
from my corporate job.
Fucking God. Any minute now.
Please, for the love of God. They wind up in a clearing with rose bushes all around, but the vines are like tree trunks and dark purple, so they're huge, obviously. Rosalina realizes suddenly that they must be in the land of the Fae, and her father must have come through the same way as them and found it too.
Purple trees, dead giveaway. I don't know much about botany, but purple trees are not common.
Rosalina calls out for her dad, but instead of George coming, she hears chittering laughter, and then she and Lucas are surrounded by disgusting gray monsters with yellow eyes. Goblins.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Rosalina tries to reason with them, but the goblins are assholes who mock her and Lucas for being lost little humans.
Rosalina cannot catch a break.
She really
The humans are mean. The goblins are mean. Everybody's kind of a bitch to her.
And more people are about to be mean to her, just FYI. The goblins tell her the old man's gone somewhere she wouldn't want to go, to Kaldarian and his beasts. Lucas chooses this moment to go Rambo on them and start shooting. He kills a few of them, and he and Rosalina take off running, but Rosalina's attacked by one of the animalistic goblin things and gets knocked off a cliff while Lucas just stands there in shock because he's fucking useless.
God. Also, we just went through a little... Oh, here's a cliff.
Basically.
The geography is rough out there.
The goblins chant she's going down to Mother, and she slides into a pit.
What the fuck? No, you don't get to just go by that. What in the... That might be one of the creepiest lines I've ever heard. You're going down to Mother.
To mother, down you go.
Oh my God, that's fucking horrifying.
They are goblins.
It sounds very creepy, children coded.
I would argue so. I
Very
think that
Shining. They didn't run. I bet you Lucas doesn't have good aim. And he clipped several of them, so I don't have high hopes for their survival mentality.
Probably not very high up there. Rosalina slides into a pit, but is caught by something that lowers her gently to the bottom of the pit so she doesn't fall and splatter herself on the ground. The goblins get wrecked by some invisible force, and a handsome man picks her up and whispers to her, "Rest, princess. You're home."
Ooh, we like this.
When Rosalina awakens, she thinks that she hallucinated the beautiful dark-haired, dark-eyed man. She wanders down the path and stumbles across a massive castle built into a tree. She decides to go inside because what the fuck else is she gonna do, and finds that the Thorns outside have invaded the castle and are crawling up the walls.
It's like dangerous Keebler elf house.
Exactly.
I love a tree house.
The way that they describe it, it sounds very,
Tree
very
castle.
beautiful.
Tree castle.
Tree
Yes.
castle, or castle tree, which is what it's called.
Ah, I like it. I like it. Yes.
It appears to be empty otherwise, besides the Thorns, and Rosalina keeps walking, compelled to go up the stairs in search of her father, because she just has a feeling that he must be here. It's the only structure in the area, so
Yeah.
unless the goblins ate him, he's probably here. As she wanders the halls, she comes across a man in a cell chained to the wall by a collar around his neck. He notices her there, and she sees that he has golden eyes, brown hair, and the pointed ears of the Fae.
Okay, so not her father.
No. Definitely not. We can guess at this point without her explicitly stating it that he's hot.
Yeah.
She runs up to his cage and asks if he's okay, and he tells her, "You need to get out of the castle immediately. You've got to run." But when she asks if he's seen her father and he says yes, she calls out for him, "Dad," and gets an answer.
Oh.
Because her dad's in the castle.
I like the run. Hold on. Let me yell for my dad real quick.
Thought about it? No thanks.
You know what? She's very bold.
She absolutely is. She's a brave character. For how much people shit on her in this world that she lives in, she's resilient.
Yeah.
Not far from the other man's cage, her dad is in a cell, thankfully alive.
Yay.
George tells her that she has to get out of there and run, but it's too late because something terrifying has cornered her. The ground freezes under her feet, and from the darkness, a pair of blue eyes peer out at her. And whoever this is says her father is a trespasser and a thief who will die in that cell.
So the day's going well.
It's a fantastic day for her.
She's been surprise proposed to, run away, been attacked by goblins, fallen off of a cliff, and now threatened death by a monster. You know, all in a day.
It's really exciting, at least.
And people were bitchy to her earlier, too.
That was another day, but yes,
Okay,
that was
that's
another
every
day.
day.
Yeah, that's just poor Rosalina's life, unfortunately.
It's all the days merged together when it comes to people shit-talking her.
Rosalina offers herself in her father's stead, saying it's all her fault since she asked him to get the rose for her.
Baby girl is putting a lot on herself, though.
She really is. She's one of those people who's very self-sacrificing. You see it in the way that she gave up going to college to support herself and her father so that her dad could keep hunting fairies, even though she didn't necessarily believe in it at first. Now she fucking does.
Now that I've seen the purple trees, I think he's on to something.
Dad was right. The blue-eyed fae steps into the light, revealing that he's the tallest man she's ever seen, and he's got white hair and black eyebrows and is stunningly beautiful.
How tall are we talking?
He's like 6'7".
Okay. And she's 5'11", so it's not like she's looking up into the underside of his nostril. She's also tall. But
That's a very good point.
it does make a difference for gymnastic or acrobatic things that may happen later. It makes it easier for you to comprehend. I feel like it physically starts to hurt when you're that hard. Like, you have to hunch down to avoid being decapitated by ceiling fans on the daily.
Tall men, we feel for you. You know what? You have pretty good lives. I'm not going to lie. I don't think you need our sympathy.
I don't know if they're ceiling fan situations, so this might be an imaginary worry that we have for them.
The ceilings are probably higher.
You know what? We've been poor for too long problem. We're thinking in the term of, that's an 8-foot ceiling. He's almost in it. Like, he's hitting doorways. And in fictional reality, these are probably 28-foot doors.
Doors and ceilings with Marleigh and Tess. Back to the story.
We're just here doing logistics of getting through doorways.
Meanwhile, it's filled with magic thorns and fae princes. But what's the realism of the fact that this man is 6'7"?
We gotta keep it grounded, Marleigh.
The beautiful fae male with the white hair and the black eyebrows and the blue eyes agrees to her bargain and says her father will be returned to the human realm unharmed, and tosses her in a cell before dragging poor old George away. Left in her cell overnight, Rosalina spirals in disbelief that her father was right about the fae, and she wishes she could speak to him one more time about it.
Congratulations, Dad. You did it.
I believe you now.
Exactly. I'm on your side. Bye forever.
Which, again, she is a ride or die bitch to have been doing everything for him that she's been doing this whole time, even not believing in the fae.
Yeah.
She sleeps terribly because she's in a cell, and also because something is howling in the castle the entire time, which is ominous. When she awakens the next morning, she peers out at the landscape, which is covered in the same thorns that infest the castle. She's determined to escape and make it back to her father because, of course. She fails to pick the lock in her cell and turns to face the window, which is too small for her to squeeze through. But she touches it and thinks about how she wishes it were larger, and amazingly, the window rearranges itself to be big enough for her to fit through.
Well, now our logistics is getting a whole new avenue. Now it's responding.
Mighty Morphin magic windows. She decides to climb down the brambles up the side of the castle towards the bridge that will hopefully lead her to freedom, which is hard for her because she admits she barely passed gym class, which is very relatable. At one point, Rosalina slips and tumbles to the ground, but she is alive and finally free. She runs towards the bridge and then gets her shit ricked by a giant dude in a suit of armor, including a helmet that covers his entire face, who almost immediately starts choking her.
There's so many things popping out of everywhere. She's just running into shit.
Constant danger.
It's cliffs. It's dudes in cells. It's dudes in armor. It's beastie dudes. So far, there's a lot of dudes.
And all of them are enormous.
Yeah.
This be-suited man interrogates her about whether or not she's a spy for someone called the Prince of Thorns, but Rosalina manages to kick him in the chest and shout back that he's an overgrown tin can, and that she can't exactly answer him if he's got his hand around her throat.
True.
He lets go, and she tries to get away from him, but he stops her and asks who she is. She says she's a human named Rosalina, and she just wants to go home, and they're interrupted by one of the palace servants, a fae woman named Astrid, who tells the man in the armor, who's a prince named Ezrin, that Rosalina is Caldarian's prisoner. She tries to sneak off, but Ezrin catches her by the scarf and hauls her into the castle again, so he's into choking.
We're just going straight into the kinks.
Why would we not? Ezrin takes her to a room and commands Astrid to give her food and water, then leaves her there. The next chapter is from Ezrin's point of view, and he's gone to see Caldarian, who's pacing angstily in his part of the castle. Ezrin confronts him about the human woman, and Caldarian calls him out for never being there. You know, I'm going to gaslight you, so fuck you for never being around.
Okay. He was literally right there. But sure.
Ezrin thinks about how odd it is for Kaldarian to be keeping a prisoner and how he'd assumed originally that Rosalina was a servant of either Syrah or Caspian. These names will come back later.
Okay.
Ezrin starts to guess what she might be to Kaldarian, but before he can get the words out, Kaldarian attacks him, and Ezrin has to back off since Kaldarian is master of the castle.
All right, so they're at each other's throats, and the shit rolls downhill, so they're choking other people, as you do. It's corporate hierarchy, but with breath play.
Exactly. We switch back to Rosalina, who's being held in a beautiful room with a living tree growing out of the wall. Astrid, who serves Kaldarian, tells her that the realms are sick thanks to the Prince of Thorns, which is why the thorns are everywhere. The 4 realms are winter, summer, spring, and autumn, and somewhere called the Below. Astrid warns her not to try and run away again because the goblins who serve the Prince of Thorns, who seems to rule the Below, will harm her without question.
So are the goblins just patrolling, or did she pass through the Below?
The goblins generally romp around and have a good time.
I kind of like the goblins now.
This place is not the Below.
That singular sentence sold me on the goblins. I have different feelings now.
They're just out there frolicking, really.
They're out there chanting spooky shit, having a good time, serving the Prince of Thorns. Generally, they also hang out in the Below. I might be a goblin girly.
Team Goblin.
Goblin core all the way.
They're interrupted by another servant named Marigold, who serves Ezrin, and she brings Rosalina a tray of pastries and fruit. While Rosalina's eating, she asks them if Kaldarian actually sent her father safely home, and Astrid tells her Kaldarian is loyal and keeps his promises even if he is a bit stern. Rosalina isn't sure what to make of all of this and starts asking them questions about the castle and the princes. They tell her that the castle is under an enchantment that means they can't go back to their realms. Marigold makes a choking joke when Rosalina explains how she met Ezrin because Marigold's a freak.
And so Castle Tree is outside of all 4 of those realms and the Below?
Correct. They give her new clothes, and Marigold tells Astrid to take Rosalina to the summer wing to bathe and mentions that they haven't had a guest in 25 years.
Nice. The wings are summer, fall, winter, and such?
Yes.
We do love it when it all matches up together.
It's really fun. The summer wing is decorated like a beach house Airbnb, complete with wind chimes, sand, and brown clay walls, and all it's missing is a Life's a Beach sign. Astrid leads Rosalina to an indoor hot spring that Rosalina says is kind of like an enchanted grotto, and Astrid leaves her there to bathe while she retrieves the clean clothes that they got for her. Rosalina gets into the pool, which probably feels amazing.
Yeah.
As she's washing herself, she's joined by a handsome stranger. He's a gorgeous blonde fae man with blue eyes.
We have communal bath time.
She tries really hard not to look at his dick as he flirts with her, saying he came back to get a look at Kaldarian's new pet and that his name is Dayton.
I already love him. He's sweet.
He's really fun.
I love anybody who meets you and then is naked also when they first meet you.
Rosalina asks if he works at the castle, and he laughs like a trust fund baby and tells her he'd rather rake his dick through hot coals than work. That is a direct quote from the book, by the way.
Amazing.
Rosalina asks him about the fae she saw chained up as he gratuitously washes himself. And he asks her if the fae was handsome, which she admits, yes, he was. He says that the castle is ruled by 3 other fae princes, not just Kaldarian, and that she ought to try begging one of the others for help with the imprisoned fae. Just as he's encroaching closer and she's pretending she isn't very horny, they're interrupted by Astrid, who calls him my prince because Dayton is the Prince of Summer.
Oh, our official prince is
Exactly.
named.
Dayton leaves the pool stark naked and tells Rosalina she should try charming him instead of the others because he's the best in bed.
Oh my gosh, he's so fucking fabulous.
He is a shameless flirt. Rosalina goes back to her room to find that they've cleaned and primped it and filled the wardrobe with dresses for her, and she has an early dinner. So her imprisonment sounds like my heaven.
Yeah, new dresses, new wardrobe.
Early bedtime?
Pop off, queen.
It's way better than the human realm.
Get your sleep. Oh no, I can't work at the book emporium because I have to sleep in a nice bed and hang out in a hot tub with naked guys. And I have to do it to save my father.
Oh no, it's so hard to be me. Rosalina is told explicitly not to leave her room after dark by order of Caldarian, and then Astrid and Marigold leave her there alone. But she's bored, so she decides to leave her room.
She doesn't listen to anyone's common sense, let alone her own.
God, no. In part, she feels compelled to find the Fae that's locked up in the cage and free him, and she looks for something to pick the lock with, and one of the briars conveniently shifts and grows into a lockpick for her. Rosalina is very thrown by this, but she decides she doesn't care enough to stick around and uses it to escape the room.
We're not asking a gift magic in its mouth.
Definitely
something. There's an idiom there. We can workshop it.
She follows the path back to the cage where the Fae is, and he's still in there but asleep. She uses her thorn lockpick again and takes the too large collar off of him and shakes him awake. When he wakes up, he realizes she's removed his collar and notices that it's nightfall and tells her with abject horror that she needs to run.
Oh no!
Before she can, his skin sprouts fur and he transforms into an enormous brown wolf, complete with rotting leaves and twigs protruding from his coat. There's no sign of recognition in his eyes when he looks at her.
Oh, she freed a frickin' werewolf!
She did.
God damn, the day is just getting so rough for this girl.
He claws her leg, and she flees in terror, limping from her wound as he chases her through the briars of the castle. But it's no use. She's not going to get away from him, and he catches her, pinning her to the floor. She wonders for a moment if dying by a wolf will feel the same as drowning.
Oh.
But at least being eaten by a wolf is cooler than falling off a stool shelving books, so she's optimistic. Before the brown wolf can devour her, it's tackled by a much larger white wolf with ice crystals in its fur, and the white wolf covers her with its body, protecting her.
Yay, friendly wolf.
We love him. The white wolf howls, and the other two wolves appear, a black one with small dead animal skulls tangled in its fur, and a gold one with seaweed in its fur. They corner the brown wolf and make it submit to them, and Rosalina assumes that this is a fight over which one gets to eat her.
There's literal skulls in one of these flea bags' fur, so I wouldn't have high hopes if I were her.
Absolutely not.
Oh, who gets to have me as their toothpick?
She tries to escape and screams for Caldarian, but the white wolf stops her, and she peers into its eyes and realizes the white wolf is Caldarian.
I'm imagining the white wolf having black eyebrows.
Like Balto.
I feel like that's how you know. Is I've got those sexy dark eyebrows with my wolf self.
Then she looks around at the other wolves and realizes the black wolf is Ezrin and the golden wolf is Dayton, and the feral brown wolf that tried to kill her is obviously the last of the 4 princes of the Briar, all of them beasts. Caldarian picks her up in his mouth and carries her to her bedroom, sealing her wound with ice and leaving her there alone.
Couldn't have been like, get on my back. No, I'm gonna put you in my mouth. You won't be scared.
We're in Dayton's POV the next morning, and the girls are fighting. Ezrin and Caldarian are having a heated argument while the 4th prince, whose name we learn is Farron, is curled up on the couch looking guilty as fuck in the way someone would after nearly swallowing a woman whole.
It's the werewolf equivalent of dragging your ass on the carpet. Like, nobody likes this behavior. You need to change your shit quick.
Oh no, he's got worms. Dayton goes over to comfort Farron, and Ezrin snaps at Dayton for being late, calling him, quote, the drunken prince of summer. Dayton chastises Caldarian for biting Farron as hard as he did last night, and says he could have killed him. Ezrin blames Farron for not being able to control his beast like the rest of them can, and Farron also blames himself.
Oh, they're kindred spirits, Farron and Rosalina.
They really are. And Dayton considers Caldarian pretty unhinged, but he's never seen him react the way that he did when he was protecting Rosalina. Curious.
Like, he did a big bite.
He did.
He put his whole mouth into it. And then he picked her up with that mouth.
His whole wolf-o-see. Ezrin doesn't understand how she escaped her room without them noticing, and Dayton puts together that she must have gotten out to free Farron because she brought him up to him in the baths. Dayton didn't tell her anything about why Farron is imprisoned because their beast forms are supposed to be a secret from the realm, and Caldarian is very secretive about everything. Dayton thinks about how he'd met her in the hot springs, curious about this woman Caldarian had taken prisoner, and how she was so gorgeous he had a hard time not seducing her, but figured she'd be off limits.
He had a hard time not seducing her, so he just went in naked and had a flirty conversation with her, because that's not seduction.
He didn't put her in his mouth, not like Caldarian.
Yeah, exactly. I wait to put people in my mouth.
That's second base.
Yeah.
According to Dayton's thoughts, Caldarian's last foray into love was disastrous, and all of them tried to warn him. So now, for reasons unclear, Caspian, the Prince of Thorns, sends half-naked women to the gates of the castle every now and then, presumably to taunt Caldarian.
Okay. Just to be a shit.
Exactly.
Like, topless strippergrams.
They ask Caldarian why she's here, and he gives them the same bullshit about her trading herself for her father. They know something else is going on, though, and Dayton thinks about the words of the curse put on them by the enchantress. The curse is as follows. This spell may only be broken by winning the true love of your destined mate and having them accept the mated bond that has long been fated among the stars.
Specific, but very vague. No descriptors whatsoever.
Exactly. The only way to free themselves is to find their mates, which Dayton thinks is impossible.
Yeah, one has no control over his wolf. That would make it hard to find your mate.
Mm-hmm.
He is a playboy who can't find love.
Yep.
And then Caldarian can't get anybody to look past his eyebrows, I suppose. But more like he's a super secret-y bitch.
He's shady, and Ezrin walks around in a suit of armor, so nobody knows what he looks like.
And he's got the choking kink, which, I mean, that's gonna narrow your options.
So something that you should all know about me is that of all of the princes, even at this stage in the story, the one that I was into the most was Ezrin.
The one with the choking kink.
Yes. Whose face you can't see. I was like, yeah, that's the one for me.
You're like, listen, I can paint any face on that steel suit of armor. Let's go.
Ezrin accuses Caldarian of being as unreasonable with Rosalina as he was with Caspian, and they get into the Fey magic version of a fist fight, with Caldarian throwing ice everywhere and threatening to rip out Ezrin's tongue. Dayton shields Farron with his body so Farron doesn't wolf out.
Everybody's protecting. He's like the younger brother of the group. It's very little brother energy.
He is, absolutely. I think he is the youngest. Dayton's convinced that one day Ezrin will push Caldarian too far and his mutilated corpse will be so thoroughly wrecked that they won't ever know what Ezrin looks like. Caldarian backs off and tells them that Ezrin can house, feed, and clothe her as he wishes, but none of them are to touch her. And Dayton thinks that this is going to be the hardest rule of all to follow.
He's such a little player.
He's so horny.
You know what you want. I would like to flirt with anything that's not these dudes in the castle.
You guys are so boring. Ezrin doesn't even have a face. Caldarian's eyebrows are super distracting.
I love it. This one is a muddy wolf. He's got the worms.
He's just dragging his ass on that carpet.
He's just always dragging ass.
Meanwhile, Rosalina is obviously traumatized in her room, still wounded from the attack, and barely manages to sleep before she's awoken by a little white hair jumping into her bed. The bunny transforms into Astrid, who's buck-ass naked in Rosalina's bed.
So everybody transforms into animals in this house.
Exactly. Astrid explains that everyone in the castle is cursed to be animals by night, fae by day. Rosalina asks for an explanation, but doesn't get one from Astrid or Marigold, who shows up to feed her breakfast. Marigold shifts into a raccoon at night, and they all saw what happened with Rosalina and the princes.
If I were a bunny or a raccoon or anything, I would really, really not want to be out in the middle of the night with all these wolfy bastards.
Especially Farron, who can't control himself. Well, they do lock Farron up in a cage because he can't control himself.
They did before she was, I'm going to take you out.
She didn't know.
She thought he was a good boy. I can pet you. But I can change him. Bites off face.
We've all been there, ladies. There's a knock on the door, and Ezrin's there. Astrid and Marigold leave Rosalina alone with him, and she's in a shredded nightgown still cowering against her headboard as Ezrin's just there in his suit of armor. He approaches and sits on her bed and grabs her leg and flips her over, and her brain is like murder time, but her vagina's like fuck time.
He's still in the suit of armor?
He's always in the suit of armor.
This is...
According to the authors, they based him on the Mandalorian.
I'm just envisioning, are we going to remove a specific cock plate? And we're going to stay in this the whole time? I mean, I'm there for it.
Ezrin actually came to heal her leg wound and does so with just his hands, which leads her to asking him if he's a wizard.
Finger your gash. Sorry. I'm sorry. That was horrible.
I'm going to pee my pants.
There's so many jokes here. They're all terrible.
I know, they really are.
They're really bad. They're not sexy at all.
After Rosalina asks him if he's a wizard, he explains that the gift of the Spring Realm is healing, and he inherited it from his mother.
Aw, we love a guy who likes his mom.
As he heals her cuts and scrapes from the thorns, he reaches for her left wrist, but Rosalina pulls it away. If you remember, that's where Lucas carved his name into her arm, and Rosalina doesn't want Ezrin to see it.
Yeah.
Ezrin orders her to meet with them in the dining hall and to not try and escape again, or she'll be punished.
Choke her again, put her on timeout.
Punish me, daddy.
Some kind of spanking.
Astra dresses her in a pretty blue gown that's a little too short for her because she is a tall lady.
All the better to look at your legs with, my dear.
She meets the princes in the dining room. Ezrin, Dayton, and Farron are sitting there, and Rosalina can't decide if she wants to sit next to the guy who almost ate her or the guy who choked her and threw her around a bed that morning.
Choked her. Pick choked her.
Ezrin. Caldarian joins them before she can decide, and he has a smarmy-ass look on his face, so she takes the head of the table across from him. The servants bring them lunch, and she notices Dayton charming them. He makes a plate for Farron before serving himself.
Aww. Everybody does really dote on little baby Farron.
He's a sweet baby angel. Rosalina doesn't want to eat, which pisses Caldarian off. She asks why Ezrin isn't eating, and he explains that he doesn't take his helmet off in front of anybody.
Just a straw going through the bottom. I don't need soup.
He just has to sit there while everybody else eats.
It sounds like a lot of willpower, to be honest.
He just gets out his frustrations through choking.
Yeah. I'd be fucking pissed too all the time.
Caldarian makes her a plate and says if she won't eat with them, she won't eat at all. Rosalina retaliates by throwing food at him that he catches.
This is very toddler coded.
It really is.
If you won't eat, you won't eat at all.
It's also a direct quote, I think, from Beauty and the Beast. Yeah,
I do remember. The behavior tracks.
Farron apologizes for attacking her last night, and she tells the princes that she'd be safer at home if they'd just free her. But Caldarian refuses and says that if she's not happy with the liberties the others want to give her, he'll gladly return her to the dungeon, so he's a dick.
He's been a bit of a priss this whole time.
He really is. She argues for being allowed to leave her room at night, and Caldarian says it's fine as long as she doesn't go into the dungeon where Farron is. One rule. One rule. There's another rule that's very stringent as well, is that she has to have dinner with them every night or dungeon time.
You're going to eat your broccoli or you're going to sit in your timeout chair.
You bad, bad girl. And Ezrin's going to spank you.
You're going to sit in your choke chair. Tied with your scarf. Does she still have this scarf? The scarf is fun.
I think Ezrin kept it.
Souvenir.
She is allowed to explore the castle with an escort, but must stay away from the high tower and their private quarters. Rosalina agrees to follow their rules if they'll explain what's going on with this curse that they've got. Farron tells her that 25 years ago, a human woman showed up to the gates of Castle Tree and asked to be admitted to the castle. When the princes refused her, she transformed into an enchantress and cast a spell on them, which cursed them to be beasts every single night but the full moon, and for the staff to transform into animals at night. And the curse can only be broken, as we remember from the poem before, if they find their mates.
Yes. It's a little flip of the world of the werewolves, that they get one night off and it's the full moon.
Precisely.
That's cute.
Yeah.
I like that.
Rosalina asks what a mate is, and Dayton explains that it's your soulmate, the other half of your soul, essentially. Rosalina decides to make a deal with them, that she'll help them find their mates if they free her when she does.
Yeah, that's smart.
Caldarian does agree, and they do a magic handshake to seal the deal, which makes bracelets encrusted with roses appear around their wrists. But he tells her that the curse will never be broken.
Magic friendship bracelets.
Exactly.
Of a promise. Love. Also, she's like signing up to be the new Caspian. I'm going to also send half-naked women your way and see if we can find these mates.
Just gonna send in bitches left and right.
Yeah.
Let's go. Marigold and Astrid show her around the castle, and she has an extremely awkward dinner with the princes. The next morning, she's primped by marigolds, and Farron knocks on the door and asks her if she'll join him in the library. He's hot in a nerdy way with gold-rimmed glasses and tells her that she looks very beautiful that day.
Oh, and she loves the library.
Mm-hmm. Farron takes her to the library, which is incredible, and Rosalina wants to ride the wheeled ladder around the stacks almost as much as she wants to ride Faye Dick. She asks if they have romance books, and Farron shows her one, a story about fated mates. Rosalina asks for more details about the mating bond, and Farron touches her chest over her heart and says that you feel it there. Meow.
Ooh.
Or woof.
I love that he's recommending a book. I've also read this romance novel and be like, hubba hubba.
We love a man who's literate.
We love a man who can read. Yay.
He also explains that the Queen of the Fae disappeared 500 years ago, but decreed that there would be a ruler from each seasonal court, hence the princes. It's been passed down by generations, and Farron's mother was the previous ruler, who gave him the blessing of autumn. The Briars, as it turns out, are not a part of the curse, but something that Caspian, the Prince of Thorns, has infested their castle with to sap Castle Tree of its magic.
Oh.
So he's the bad boy. Rosalina asks if they've ever tried to find their mates, but Farron says it's been hard to do so with them turning into beasts every night and having to hide out in the castle, unable to return to their realms.
For everybody, especially for Farron. If I found her, I probably ate her. Whoopsie doodles.
In the next chapter, we're in Farron's point of view, and there's been a month-long time skip, so we've skipped ahead quite a bit. He's with Rosalina in the library, where they've spent every single day together researching.
So they're going to break this spell with smarts, instead of the good old Caspian way of sending half-naked women.
Farron's also thinking a lot about her breasts and how they fill out her corset. Rosalina notices and realizes her laces are loose around her chest and apologizes. So I'm so sorry. Let me lace those back up.
Sorry, I'm slipping out of my clothes. Whatever, there's no TV. What else are you going to do? Hold on, I'm having a small nip-slip moment. I beg your forgiveness.
Pardon me. He tells her that she makes him nervous, and she says that he makes her nervous too, being a gorgeous fae prince and all.
Oh my gosh.
She asks if Farron would set her free, and he has the thought that he wants to keep her forever, but he says that he would if it was up to him.
Aww.
He's so sweet.
This is so cute.
They talk more about mating bonds, and he tells her Ezrin's parents were mated, as were Kaldarians. He also says that other fae try to mimic the magic of mating bonds with powerful bargains to make these love pacts, but that these are dangerous and inadvisable. They're interrupted by the sounds of Dayton entering the castle through the magic mirror portal nobody told Rosalina about. And he's got a female guest. The two of them are drunk out of their gourds, and Farron is furious when Dayton offers that Rosalina and Farron join them in a foursome.
Holy shit. Well, there's Dayton being Dayton.
He's just being himself, 100%. Yeah. They argue with Dayton about the female guest, and Farron erases her memory and sends her back through the mirror again. He sends Rosalina away, telling her that they have to cut their sessions short so that he can get Dayton back to his room. She leaves, and as Farron's trying to get Dayton to walk with him, Dayton teases that he likes Rosalina and then grumbles that Farron chased away his fuck and that he's still horny. He then makes Farron touch his hard dick and tells him, "Try me."
Okay. Try indeed.
Rosalina's in the dining room alone with a book, trying not to be jealous about Dayton with the Fae woman, until Kaldarian joins her. They're alone together, and she tells him that Farron's helping Dayton. Kel grumbles something about Farron being his own worst enemy, and tells Rosalina that Ezrin is out hunting goblins and won't be joining them. Ezrin apparently hunts goblins for sport because he's racist.
He's got to have a flaw somewhere.
He has to have an outlet other than choking.
Yeah, he's choking. He never shows his face. He doesn't eat with everybody. Also hates the goblins, who we've already discussed are kind of cool. He's an enigma.
He really is. Kaldarian tries to take her book, saying it's rude to read at the table, and they squabble over it, ripping it in the process. Kaldarian catches her before she can fall and asks her what's so important, and she says she's trying to find his mate, but he tells her that that's a waste of her time.
Can't even let her have a fucking book. He's such a bitch.
He really is. She catches a page from the book in the air that explains that mating bonds can be suppressed by trauma, which would explain the princess having such a hard time after the enchantress, but they can also be awakened by a moment of significance. So she climbs off Kaldarian to run off and tell Farron immediately.
Oh, great. It's like Hiccups rules. I'm just going to scare them or something, and then that'll save their bonds. It'll open them up.
Rosalina goes searching for Farron in the summer realm, where he was supposed to be putting Dayton to bed so she can share her revelation with him. She finds Dayton's quarters, where the door is slightly ajar, and squeezes inside to find that Farron is still there with Dayton, naked.
He's putting him to bed.
Quote unquote. They're more than just friends and princes. They're lovers.
Yay!
Farron and Dayton are in bed together, and Rosaline is watching as they talk dirty to each other, and Dayton starts fucking Farron. She's caught up in all kinds of fantasies about joining them, but just stands there and watches from behind a corner until her knees buckle and she falls to the floor, catching both of their attention.
You're like, I would love to be in the middle of this. I don't care how.
I want to
Or
be in
just-
this fairy sandwich.
Just on the other side of the door. I just like
Exactly.
to breathe in the same room. That's fine.
Farron says her name as he comes, and Dayton just starts going at it harder, and she runs from the room mortified.
No, stay, girl, stay.
She goes out into the courtyard to get some air, but she can't stop thinking about Dayton and Farron and starts jorking it.
She's just outside, viciously DJing. I love it.
She's interrupted by the feeling of briars wrapping around her legs and a smooth, enchanting voice saying he's sorry for catching her off guard, but not to stop on his account. She sees a gorgeous, fey male with dark hair and violet eyes lounging atop the briars, watching her.
We have a fifth dude.
We do.
Oh, fabulous. Everything's turning up roses.
Rosalina knows immediately that he must be Caspian, the Prince of Thorns.
Yeah, there's nobody left. We've got all the seasons. So
it's a lot of characters.
it is a lot of characters, and there's only so many holes.
That's what hands are for.
It's a dilemma of the ages, and can't stop, won't stop.
Caspian approaches, flirts with her, licking blood off her fingers as well as another substance.
Wait, why does she have blood on her fingers?
She cut herself on the briars. I probably
Oh,
didn't explain that.
Okay. Wait, what's going on down south? She's that aggressive about it. Fuck it. I just watched those two guys going at it. I'll do it until it burns.
As Caspian is flirting with her, Caldarian shows up, ever the hero, and knocks him back from Rosalina. Caspian teases Caldarian about his quote-unquote new friend and tells Rosalina that she's wasted here and that if she came to the below, he'd never put her in a dungeon.
She was only in there for like a minute.
True. He warns Caldarian that he's running out of time and the magic is weakening, and then he lifts his cape up and whips it around and dramatically leaves the scene.
I love an outfit throw as an exit. Fabulous.
Caldarian checks Rosalina for injuries and tells her to never ever make a deal with Caspian because he's a liar. He then realizes that she's kind of halfway out of her clothes and asks her, "What were you doing in the garden, girl?"
Yeah. Don't make a deal with him. I did masturbate in front of him. Is that a problem?
It's a different type of covenant. She obviously can't tell him what she was doing, but he kind of guesses, and he pins her to the wall and asks her, "Distract me."
Once again. This time with feeling.
Rosalina doesn't understand why he wants her to distract him, and he's just, "Go to your room and don't come out for the rest of the night," because he's about to lose control of himself.
Everybody's just jerking it in the garden, one after another.
Is that not where you masturbate? I mean, come on.
Something wetlands. Thank you. I'll be here all week. God, the bad puns. This episode is really chock full of them. Please forgive us.
Tessa's improv experience for anybody who's curious.
Exclusively for making horrible pornographic puns. Fun fact, I was in comedy sports way back when, which is competitive improv where the points do matter. And there was a game that we had called Casanova that I single-handedly got shut down because it was come up with pickup lines. But we were high schoolers, so it was supposed to be sort of PG. And I was not keeping it PG. And anytime they were, "Your suggestion is doctor." And I was like, "I'm going to make you bleed." They said, "We need to stop doing this for students." And they nixed the game from the register of games.
What a bunch of fucking pussies.
I know. It was my favorite game, and they told me to stop it, and I just ruined it for everybody, so I'm sorry.
Ruined it or made it better?
I'm still willing to play, but just know that you're going up against the king. You're welcome, society.
Oh my gosh.
My parents are in the front row.
I am confident that your father was never more proud of you.
I truly believe that. He once told me I missed my calling as a dominatrix.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
Anyway, back to the story.
Back to Marigold, who is a raccoon.
Hold on, I gotta wipe these tears away. No big deal.
Marigold comes to visit Rosalina in raccoon form, pushing a little tray, and dodges Rosalina's questions about the history between Caldarian and Caspian, because Rosalina's obviously very, very curious about that. Caldarian told Marigold to bring Rosalina dinner because she didn't eat, and because Rosalina refuses to follow instructions ever, she takes her plate to his room to eat dinner with him, because technically that is the deal.
I guess, but again, she is very bookish, but not a rule follower at all.
Definitely not.
Which does not compute to me as a chronic, I can't get in trouble-er.
I hate getting in trouble. It's awful.
What are they gonna do to you? I don't know, ground me?
Send me to bed with no supper.
Yeah, literally in this case.
Yes. Caldarian's pissy, but he doesn't order her to leave. So after she finishes dinner, she tells him she walked in on Dayton and Farron fucking. She then takes out a book and starts reading it to him.
As you do.
She falls asleep in his room, and he carries her back to her bed in wolf form.
In his mouth again?
I can't remember. Maybe.
With his paws?
On his hind legs.
No, it's gonna be in his fucking mouth again. He's like, let me cradle you with my tongue.
Ooh, girl, you taste real good.
Yeah, I try not to drool too much. It's cute and gross. I love it.
The next chapter starts with Rosalina seeing a naked woman standing outside the doors of the castle. Astrid says something about hoping he'd stopped for good, as if this is a regular occurrence.
Oh, this is the Caspian sending the poor ladies.
If you remember.
Yep.
Rosalina takes the cloak to the naked woman outside, who's sort of dazed and is asking for Caldarian.
Okay.
Rosalina puts the cloak around her, and the Fey woman touches her face and says that she's pretty, then apologizes and says that she needs Caldarian and that Caspian sent her there, exactly as you guessed. The princes show up to take the woman to the mirror, excluding Caldarian. Farron and Rosalina, it's the first time they're seeing each other after she walked in on Farron and Dayton.
On the greatest night of anyone's life, yes.
They apologize to each other, and Farron explains that he and Dayton are just having fun, which Rosalina does not believe.
They're having love fun. Also, who doesn't want to have fun with Dayton?
Dayton's the funnest of all the princes.
He seems fun.
He's a riot. They go inside again, and the woman is refusing to leave until she sees Kel, whose magic is the only thing strong enough to make her go through the mirror. The princes go off to find him, and Marigold asks the woman what Caspian was like in bed. The woman says that he sucked and didn't let her finish. The woman then turns to Astrid, identifying that she's from Winter, and asks Astrid if Caspian's dick was worth the realm.
Oh.
Kel shows up, and the woman tries to go to him, but he takes her by the wrists and walks her to the mirror. Before he can send her through the mirror, she hands Rosalina a scroll, and the scroll says only one sentence. I was thinking of you the entire time, Princess -C for Caspian.
Oh, but he didn't let her finish. I was thinking of you the whole time. I was giving someone else a bad time. Like rave reviews, Caspian.
Blue-balled this poor woman.
He's very hands-off, as we've seen from before. Maybe that's his thing.
The next chapter is Caldarian's, and he's talking to his vizier and the steward of Winter, Perth Quellos, whom Caldarian loathes. Perth tells him that he needs to come home to the Winter Realm because there are goblins in the cities, knights deserting the army, etc., but Caldarian doesn't think he'll ever return. And he argues that Castletree can't fall or the entire Enchanted Vale will be doomed.
Okay, so they're stuck there because they're shoring it up?
They're stuck
can't
there.
Return.
They're stuck there because of the curse and because the Briars are taking over the castle, and they're kind of trying to hold it together there.
Does everybody else know that this curse is in place?
Nobody else knows.
Okay. That
Yeah.
makes sense why they're like bitching at him. I'm like, guys, the curse.
Yeah,
Be
no,
nice.
they have to keep it a secret, because if the realm knew that the princes turned into beasts at night and
Yeah.
had been cursed by an enchantress, it would not be a good look for anybody.
No, it probably everybody would descend into chaos.
Exactly. Perth basically straight up tells Caldarian should give him the throne, and Caldarian's like, nah, fuck off. Rosalina interrupts them, bringing Kel some cookies, because she's sweet, and
Oh.
Perth leaves to the Winter Realm through a magic door after introducing himself to her.
Cool, I'm the usurper.
Rosalina inspects the door and then opens it, which is supposed to be impossible without magic, so Caldarian's like, the fuck?
She's had no problems with making any of the castle things do anything she wants.
Definitely not. There's a little dial that reminds me of the one in Howl's Moving Castle with an insignia for each of the realms and then one with a rose on it. And Rosalina opened the door to the Autumn Court. Cal explains that the door can lead to any of the realms and used to allow visitors to enter the castle, but he closed it off when the curse descended and the Briars overtook Castle Tree.
Right.
The enchanted mirror that they sent the woman who came to see Kel through and the drunk one Dayton brought home can only be used by the princes.
Their own private elevator.
Precisely. Rosalina says that this has given her an idea to break the curse, and Caldarian, again, shuts her down.
He's so sure of his own sadness.
I know. He's such a depressed
I'm
little
never
boy.
gonna fuck anybody.
It's just him and his eyebrows against the world.
Sad grooming.
The next chapter, they're all having an awkward breakfast together while Rosalina thinks about the fact that Castle Tree has started to feel like home to her. Dayton asks everyone what they're doing for the full moon, which is the one night that they won't transform into wolves.
We're doing an entire naked night.
That's what I would want to do with these princes.
Yeah.
He says he's going back to the Summer Realm to party, leaving his younger sister in charge of the politics. Farron says he's going home to Autumn and seems put out by Dayton musing about getting laid in summer. Cal is staying in Castle Tree because of course he is. And Ezrin is going to shift into wolf form anyway to hunt goblins.
God, why is this his idea of a fun time? It should be sexual centipede. A wreath. A cock wreath. That's what we should be doing with our free time. Not murdering more goblins.
Ezrin's idea of a party.
It's just choking or murder. These are his two modes. Good Lord.
Inside of him, there are two wolves.
Both of these wolves want to murder.
As Dayton and Kel bicker about Kel screwing the realm over, Rosalina declares that she has a theory about how to break the curse. She believes that while the curse has stunted their mating bonds, that they're most likely to find their mates if they actually talk to people besides each other, and that it's possible they're more likely to find their mates within their own realms. She says that they should throw a ball for the winter solstice in the winter realm, and that mating bonds can potentially awaken just with proximity to your mate.
She's been doing a lot of research.
She has. She's really trying to break this curse for them. Caldarian tells her she's welcome to throw a party for the winter solstice in his realm, but that he will not be attending. She retaliates by throwing a muffin at him.
He's such a brat.
He really is. Frustrated, Rosalina leaves the breakfast table and runs into Dayton, who's about to head off and get ready to go to the summer realm, but Rosalina begs him to take her along, and after some convincing, Dayton relents.
Dayton's always there for a good time.
Fortunately for everybody. They go to the summer realm and step into a bazaar where Rosalina persuades Dayton to buy her a stuffed lion. The vendor asks when Dayton is planning to return, and Dayton uses the same line about needing to deal with the Briars and Castle Tree that all of them have been using to avoid talking about the curse that they're under.
Straight up 25 years at this point.
Exactly, which is kind of the blink of an eye in the Fae realm, so it's more like 2 years or something.
yeah.
But still, long time to be away from home. The vendor tells him that he should have been named Protector of the Realms instead of Caldarian after what Caldarian did. Dayton pulls Rosalina away, and she asks him about what the title of Protector of the Realm means. Dayton explains that back when the queen left the Enchanted Vale, she gave the title to the High Ruler of the Winter Realm and entrusted him with a divine sword, which Caldarian has in his possession. Unfortunately, Caldarian lost the trust of the people in something called the War of Thorns, which Dayton doesn't elaborate on.
Okay.
They get to a bar, and they take Rosalina's cloak, and she's wearing a revealing summer court gown, which makes Dayton too erect to function.
Oh no, my laces are undone again. Whoopsie doodles.
He takes her inside and gives her Fae wine and asks her if she has anyone she's with back home.
Oh yeah, the douche canoe.
Yes, the worst person alive. She says kind of, and that he asked her to marry him before she was taken in the Fey realm, but also that he kind of abandoned her to be eaten by goblins. So Dayton's pissed at that, but she defends Lucas and talks about how popular he is in Orca Cove as if that's an excuse.
Yeah.
Dayton asks if she's going to say yes to the proposal, and she tells him that she hasn't had a chance to think about it, which Dayton says sounds like a no.
Oh no, I had to go on a mission instead of answering you with a yes or a no.
Oopsie. Dayton then asks if this guy makes her come, and Rosalina spits her wine all over the table.
Which is also a no.
Exactly. She says that she remembers enjoying the sex with Lucas, but tells Dayton, I don't know, and he's like, girl.
What? If you don't know, no.
Dayton is here to find a good lay. And Rosalina decides that she's going to try and hook up with someone too, even if she does plan to tell Lucas yes.
Yay. Pick Dayton. Your interests are aligned.
Precisely. The Fae in the bar are all over Dayton, who's extremely charming, of course. And when he gets back to the table after being pulled away multiple times, Rosalina is drunk.
Happened quick. She's a lightweight.
She tells him that she has a favorite smile of his, the one that he only seems to show to Farron, and then presses for what's going on between the two of them besides ball-slapping sex. Dayton brushes it off the way that Farron did, saying it's just fun, and then makes her drink some water and dance with him. She tells him to try seeing if she can feel any sort of sense that his mate is near, but Dayton just makes a dick joke and turns the conversation to when Rosalina walked in on him and Farron. He says that she should have stuck around for round 2, especially since they both really liked Rosalina seeing them.
Ooh,
He's so flirty.
God, yes.
Dayton tells her there's no limit to how much he can make her climax, but then pushes her away and tells her to meet him in a couple of hours. They'll need to go their separate ways if they want to get laid.
Okay.
Again, remember that she's technically off limits to the other princes, per Caldarian,
Sure.
who's not even having sex with her, so come on, dude. At least let her have some fun.
This poor woman. Talk about a clit tease.
Seriously.
Everybody's, I'm gonna make you come so hard. And then, begone, foul wench! I must render my services elsewhere.
We're with Dayton in the next chapter, and he's half canoodling with a Fae woman on a couch, half watching Rosalina across the bar where she's surrounded by Fae men, because she is hot. He wants to have her to himself, but again, Kel has said she's off limits. Dayton believes that there's a logical and obvious reason Kel doesn't want them to touch her. Rosalina gets cornered by a creepy Fae man, and even though she tells him she's not interested, he tries to force himself on her. And Dayton takes it well, by which I mean he chops the guy's hands off and takes Rosalina out of the bar.
As you do.
They leave to go back to Castle Tree, and Dayton tells her that he would have ripped them all apart if they didn't get out of there. He was so furious. Rosalina says the Fae deserved it for trying to force her, but that Dayton seemed abnormally feral about it, and while they're in the entryway of the castle, he kisses her. Dayton asks her if she likes receiving oral, to which she says she doesn't know because, shocking nobody, Lucas never went down on her.
Of fucking course. Honestly, this makes him the worst. This DJ Khaled bullshit.
We the best music!
Yuck. Excuse me.
So Dayton rips off her underwear and starts going down on her, and then finishes the good old-fashioned finger bang.
You know what? This is the first time that she's been in someone's mouth where it hasn't been carrying her.
It hasn't been Cal carrying her in wolf form.
Yeah, she hasn't been mildly unconscious or horribly injured.
But before he can finish her off, they're interrupted by Ezrin, who walks back through the magic mirror, and Farron. Rosalina puts her exposed sex parts away as Ezrin punches Dayton and chastises him for betraying Kel.
She can't even finish for like 10 seconds.
Stop being a cockblock, Ezrin. Jesus Christ. And Dayton says, worth it. Dayton's willing to accept the beating Ezrin's giving him until Ezrin shoves Farron, who tries to get in the middle of them, and then it's fucking on.
Yeah.
Ezrin and Dayton start fist fighting while Farron tries not to shift into his wolf form, and Rosalina screams at them to stop. They're interrupted by Kel, who shows up like the Phantom of the Opera and kills whatever was left of Dayton's boner by freezing him up to his waist. Dayton melts the ice and tells Kel that this is all his fault for locking Rosalina in the castle with them because, damn it, hot, thick girls have needs, Kel. What's he supposed to do, not fuck her?
Dayton's out here spitting the gospel.
Non-stop facts. Ezrin wraps Farron in magic vines to prevent him from shifting, and Kel picks up Rosalina and takes her to his icy lair, not in his mouth this time.
He's finally using those sweet, sweet opposable thumbs.
Farron calms down thanks to Ezrin, and Dayton argues that Ezrin had no business interfering. Ezrin says he came back because he felt a disturbance in the castle, aka he sensed Dayton and Rosalina were about to get it on and interrupted for totally non-jealousy related reasons.
Yeah.
Because he's not jealous at all.
So in the castle, he felt their sex vibes.
Yeah, exactly.
Coming. Amazing.
And Ezrin fucks back off through the mirror to go and kill goblins about it.
I'm sorry. He's like, oh, hold on, I came in for 10 seconds. Started another fight. Now that fight is done, I'm gonna go back to kill some more goblins. Does this man have no other hobbies?
Apparently not.
Than fighting. Exclusively fighting. Even when he's kind of fucky, he's fighting.
Healing. He can heal.
Oh, yeah. I forgot that he
swings on extreme ends of the spectrum for sure. Ezrin is an enigma.
He's hard to get a hold of, let me say. This is wild.
This is why I find him so attractive.
Still never seen his face. Or his cock, if that matters more.
It definitely matters more. Farron also felt a sex disturbance and admits to himself that seeing Dayton and Rosalina didn't make him feel jealous exactly, but that he enjoyed it.
His sexy senses are tingling in the good way.
If anything, he's sorry that he didn't get to kiss Rosalina first because he was staunchly following Kel's rules.
He spent the most time with her in that library.
He has, and they've been making romantic overtures at each other, but he's never acted on anything.
Yeah, he's been so sweet and has kept it all bottled up.
Dayton approaches everything dick first, so
Yeah.
he's like, whatevs.
Very polar opposites, but it's a good problem to have.
Dayton invites Farron to bed, which pisses Farron off because he doesn't want to be a consolation prize. They argue about Dayton hurting Rosalina, and he says he'd never hurt her or Farron. He's just an idiot.
So true.
They wind up going to Dayton's room to fuck after all, and boy did I forget how horny this book was. Farron's all too happy to fuck Dayton again. He only wishes Rosalina was there to join them.
Watching in the middle, on his dick, wherever.
Just there. When they're done, they almost have a moment of vulnerability, but neither of them are willing to cross that line, and Dayton tells Farron to go back to his wing. Farron remembers that the Enchantress called him a coward, and he knows that she's right.
Oh, baby Farron.
He's so sweet and so sad. He should kill some goblins, too.
I mean, maybe that's the secret. I feel for him so much in that everybody's emotionally stunted.
Very much so in this castle. We switch over to Rosalina's point of view, and she's in Caldarian's room and asking him why he brought her there. He ignores the question and tells her to change into night clothes. So he leaves, and she puts on one of his shifts and then starts snooping in his shit and finds Fey vodka, which she immediately drinks because why not?
She was already drunk 10 seconds ago.
Yep.
Let's keep it going.
Kel comes back and tells her that drinking it is like drinking 2 bottles of Fey wine, and Rosalina very drunkenly tells him, "You have really pretty eyes."
And great eyebrows.
Who does your threading? He tells her that now he has to keep an eye on her all night, and she says he's probably just making excuses, but remembers Dayton telling her about Kel's great love and decides not to fight him on staying in his room. She sees something glimmering under his bed and finds a sword down there that she immediately picks up because she doesn't learn ever. Kel tells her to put it down as she swings it around and then slices off a thorn, which causes part of the ceiling to collapse.
Who the fuck picks up a sword and is just playtime?
Me. I would do it.
I know, but I think your aim would be better.
In theory. Kel saves her before it can crush her, and then she puts some pants on since she kind of mooned him in the process of grabbing the sword. He tells her that the thorns showed up after the curse, and they only grew back when he ripped them all down. He carries her to bed, still tipsy, and she asks if Kel will bring Dayton there as she thinks about their unfinished fuck, to which he says a resounding, "Fuck no!" And she says it's fine because he's probably with Farron having hot makeup sex. At the thought of it, she kind of starts to touch herself, and Kel grabs her hands and tells her she needs to go to sleep.
She's masturbated in front of a lot of people in quick succession.
And in her defense, she keeps getting blue-balled.
Yes, this girl has not come this whole book.
She's never been sexually satisfied by any of these princes.
No.
She's just surrounded by hot people who won't have sex with her.
That's disgusting. This needs to change.
Somebody do something.
Put fast forward on this next part. I want to get to Some orgasms for this poor woman.
Rosalina asks if it's true that Caldarian hasn't had sex in 25 years, and he reminds her that he's cursed and tells her to drink her water.
I think his virginity grew back.
She says she'll make a bargain with him to drink the water if he'll go to the ball in the winter realm that she's trying to plan. And Caldarian is annoyed, but he does concede.
Okay. She's made a deal with him.
Another deal.
Water.
For going to the ball. The next morning, Rosalina is very hungover and reminisces about Cal holding her hair back while she puked. And when he comes into the room, she immediately leaves, apologizing and very embarrassed.
I will say, there is something very romantic about somebody taking care of you when you're sick.
It truly is.
It's ultra gross, but also, in retrospect, through a days, it's very romantic.
It's really sweet. She wanders out into the hallway and realizes she's near the door to the high tower, which, if you'll remember from earlier in the book, she's been forbidden from entering.
Is she out here trying to break another rule? Is she going straight into this thing?
Always.
Jesus.
But she's interrupted by Dayton, who stops her before she can and tells her what happened last night can't happen again. Rosalina says she understands, then returns to her room and starts sobbing to Astrid, feeling like she got played by Dayton, who kind of is a player, as we know.
Yeah, he is, but also, who knows? Maybe he just meant that I can't not finish you next time. Take it in a good light, honey. Have some.
We'll be really optimistic about it.
Yeah, exactly. I gotcha. Always finish.
Astrid and Marigold comfort her, and they insist that no matter what he says, Dayton clearly has feelings for her, considering he chopped off a man's hands for touching her against her will.
True.
She also ponders her feelings for Kel, who may be her captor, but also cares enough to hold her hair while she pukes and bring her all of her favorite foods.
And he did make a deal, fine, I'll go to your party if you just drink water. If there's ever been more of a simp, I don't know what that definition is.
Very true. We're with Caldarian next, who is standing in the high tower in front of 4 roses, stroking the blue one as Ezran comes in. There are 3 others, 1 pink, 1 orange, and 1 turquoise. He tells Ezran he's pictured crushing the rose many times, so that he's no longer in this limbo with his fate.
So if he crushes it, he'll just die?
He won't die, but the curse will be forever.
The pain of hope.
We learn through Kel's thoughts that even he has never seen Ezran's face, despite them being childhood friends.
He was just a little boy. He's been armor plated up.
He's had a mask on. And so we learn that Ezran's family only shows their face to their fated mate, which is why he's always got that helm on. So he will never show his face to anybody but his mate.
Oh, that is cute.
Isn't it?
That's also wild. Now we're forever, and you only get to see my face then.
Exactly. Kel asks Ezran if they deserved the curse that the mysterious enchantress put on them, and Ezran says they did because they were wicked beings. Dayton drank himself stupid, Farron became a recluse, Ezran gave in to sorrow and rage, and Kel betrayed the veil.
If you think they're bratty now.
Imagine them before the curse.
Imagine before constant goblin killing. This is him reformed.
Caldarian asks Ezran why he's there, and Ezran presses him on why he's keeping Rosalina in the castle. And Kel thinks about how everything changed when he saw her, but that she doesn't deserve the fate she's been forced into and that he'll suffer so she doesn't have to.
Oh.
He tells Ezran to leave it alone, and Ezran says he did that the last time Kel took someone in, and it ended badly. Ezran then asks if Kel made a bargain with Caspian, but Kel doesn't answer.
Took in another woman or took in Caspian?
Took in Caspian.
Oh, interesting.
Meanwhile, Rosalina is planning the ball for the winter solstice and studying up on Fae etiquette. She and Farron lounge in the library, and she sees Astrid and Marigold out the window ice skating, and she wishes she could join them, but worries about falling through the ice. Farron says he hates winter and asks her which season is her favorite, to which Rosalina says all of them.
Yeah, that sounds a little bit like a trap of a question. Oh, which child is your favorite? Everybody. I love every one of you all equally.
She asks if Farron misses home, and he says not as much as he should. He asks her the same question, and she says she worries about her father, but not that she misses Orca Cove, which I wouldn't either if I were her, because fuck that town.
No, they suck.
They're interrupted by 2 castle staff who have been helping her plan the ball. They also exchange some romance books before they leave, which Rosalina's been doing with the staff, setting up something of a book club.
Oh my gosh.
Which is like what she's always wanted.
Yes. She's always wanted to have a library.
Mm-hmm.
She has a little book club. She's exchanging romance books. Like, what a love language. I adore this for her.
Truly. Farron says she's brought hope and purpose to Castle Tree again, and for fuck's sake, make out already!
The blue balling is endless at this point.
Relentless throughout this entire book. Rosalina apologizes to Farron for kissing Dayton and more. And Farron says that they're even.
I kissed him with my south mouth.
He was down there on that vertical smile.
Oh, I love it.
Farron says that they're even, and he enjoyed seeing them together and would have kept watching if Ezrin hadn't interrupted and fucking ruined everything.
Fucking go back to killing goblins, y'all.
She says to be even, Dayton would need to walk in on the two of them together.
Yes.
And Farron's gripping the bookshelf over her head. He admits that Dayton wouldn't watch, he would join.
Oh, fabulous.
Before anything can happen, Rosalina shuts it down and says she needs to find their mates, and it'll be the end of their story together.
Woman.
Just let it happen. We're with Ezra next, and they're at the ball, and he's sitting on a throne. Rosalina's thrown a beautiful party, and Dayton calls her, quote, our girl.
Oh,
So cute. Ezrin balks at this since he's purposely kept his distance from her, but admits that she did a great job on the ball. Cal, by contrast, is stiff because his people are looking at him like, why the fuck are you never here, dude?
I love that. They're all, your decor is so lovely. Brava, brava.
We love it. Courtiers are being introduced like that one scene in The Princess Diaries, but Ezrin doesn't give a fuck. And then suddenly Rosalina comes down the stairs looking gorgeous, and he stands up and trips over his own feet because he's totally not into her.
Yeah, no cares.
He's
No
like, where are the
cares.
goblins?
I have to stab something quick.
She tells them they look great.
There's like a dent in the armor.
Boing.
The kink. Comes with his own group of sound effects.
She tells the princes that they look great, but chastises them for sitting on thrones instead of interacting with people. Rosalina urges them to get up and start dancing, and Ezrin is chosen by a random Fey woman, but everyone stops to stare when Caldarion chooses Rosalina as his partner for the dance.
In front of all his people. Scandalous.
As Rosalina and Cal dance together, he tells her that she's the only partner he wants to dance with, and that the necklace she's wearing, that the staff dressed her in, was his mother's.
Aww.
She asks if she's still his prisoner, and he says she never was, but that he's always been hers.
Great line.
He also says that she's given the Fae Princes hope for the first time in 25 years. She says she wants them all to find their mates, and Cal says that he wants that for the others too, but that he'll have no dance partner besides her. He says that he will not try to find his mate or break his curse, and furious, Rosalina leaves him on the dance floor, because, like, what did she do all of this for if you're not even going to try,
Yeah,
man?
you're not going to try. And he's saying something else.
Exactly. Rosalina goes outside to get some air and is found by Kel's creepy-ass vizier, Perth. She says she's trying to help Kel break his curse, but he won't let her, and Perth agrees that the mate bond would give Kel that power and more. She tries to leave, but Perth stops her and asks how long she's been in love with Caldarion. She denies it, and Perth says a litany of insulting shit about her being a pathetic human and getting in the way of Kel breaking the curse, and he mocks her for hoping one of the princes would mate with her, and says that she's disrupting the fragile balance of the Winter Realm, so Perth's an asshole.
Yeah.
After promising to arrange her departure from the Vale, and that she'll be compensated as a whore,
Oof.
she's crying, but they're interrupted by Ezrin throwing Perth to the ground. His violence finally comes in handy.
Yay! Ezrin's out here finally slashing in the correct direction.
Ezrin tells Perth to fuck off and comforts Rosalina, telling her that he's been on the receiving end of one of Perth's cruel lectures himself. Ezrin then tells her that his mother passed shortly after he inherited the throne.
All these guys have some mommy issues that are unresolved.
They're
at the
all so
moment.
damaged, unfortunately. Rosalina takes his glove off to hold his hand and says that he's good, and he says he wishes that she was right.
She took off his glove. Basically, he was naked. It was incredible.
She asks why he can't show his face, and he says it's a symbol of the royal family's dedication to the Spring Realm, and to show his face to anyone but his fated mate would be a great dishonor. He says they should return to the ball, but Rosalina can't stop thinking about the things that Perth said to her, and Ezrin says that she's the Lady of Castle Tree and takes her to the dance floor.
Oh.
As they're dancing, she asks him what color his eyes are, and he tells her they're brown. Then they're interrupted by Caspian making a dramatic entrance.
As he does, swishing his coat.
Caldarian tells him to leave, but Caspian says he's only there for one thing, and speaks into Rosalina's mind and says, "You."
She's about to get kidnapped again.
Caspian mocks the princes, calling out Dayton for being a drunkard and letting his brothers be killed. Farron for hiding behind his books. Ezrin for slaughtering and torturing goblins for fun to make up for the way he failed his mother.
Kind of facts.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Kell is frozen on his throne. Rosalina confronts Caspian and lectures him for calling out the princes when he's the one who's pathetic. She's done with toxic masculinity for the night. She says she'll dance with him so that he'll leave, and then suddenly they're the only ones on the dance floor.
She's interesting with her bargains. She's like, I'll drink water, I'll dance with you, and then you'll go. But it works.
Every single time. These men are putty in her hands.
Really. She is just not only gorgeous, but she understands how these weird bargains work. She's smart. She's also ballsy. She's a rule breaker.
We love her. As they dance, she asks why he won't remove his briars from the castle, and he tells her she wouldn't like what happened if he did. He also tells her they want the same thing, and she should go to the high tower and see for herself what the princes are hiding.
Oh, well, she does not need a lot of encouragement
Definitely
to
not.
make her do this. She was already halfway up that tower.
Caspian puts a crown of thorns on her head and tries to kiss her, and Kell's had enough and flings him across the ballroom. He then teases Kell by rather intimately touching his wrist and whispering into his ear, "Just how long before you break and she belongs to me?"
They're strangely intertwined. It's very toxic. It's kind of sexy. Let's go.
Very much so. Before an all-out fight can break out, Caspian infests the ballroom with briars and disappears. The ballroom erupts in chaos as the noble guests start blaming Caldarian for bringing Caspian there and claim he's still allied with the Below. They try to attack Caldarian while the princes shield him, and before a crazed noblewoman can attack Rosalina, Farron saves her and sends her back to Castle Tree. Rosalina is left alone at Castle Tree, worried about the princes, and thinks about Caspian's words again, that the princes are hiding something in the high tower. With them and half the staff gone, it could be her one chance, so Rosalina decides to go to the high tower to investigate.
Absolutely, 100%. That's immediately what you do.
As we knew she was going
also,
to do.
Your party went to shit. How much worse can it get?
Truly. She asks the Thorns, which she's felt can hear her this whole time, to guide her to the high tower. The tree in her room opens up to a narrow staircase.
Magic house once again for the win.
She enters the room where the 4 wilting roses are, and the castle shows her a memory of the princes being cursed by the enchantress. The memory fades, and Rosalina begs the briars to help her bring some life back to the roses. They perk up a little bit at the use of the magic, but she's suddenly interrupted by Kell and the other princes confronting her for coming there where she was never supposed to go. She asks what they've done to incite the wrath of the enchantress, and in a rage, Kell starts ripping down the briars, making the castle shake and crumble.
If I can't have you not know what I did that was bad, I'm going to tear down this whole fucking house.
He's very emotionally stunted.
So many tantrums.
The other princes channel their magic to stop it, and Kell orders Rosalina to leave. Rosalina runs out of the castle and smack dab into the goblins, but hears a familiar voice in her head commanding her to run, so she does. A goblin corners her but is speared by a thorn, and she keeps running. She spots the rosebush she crawled through to get there and makes a break for it.
So now Caspian is out here saving the day.
The voice speaks into her mind again, and she knows this time that it's Caspian telling her to stay in the briars. She doesn't trust him, so she refuses and runs down the hill, but she's being chased by an army of goblins, and even though she's terrified, she goes onto the ice, but they catch up to her and surround her, cutting her with their thorn swords. Before they can do worse, Kell to the rescue!
Yay!
He tells her to run and that he'll hold them off, hoping she goes through the rosebush and back home. He knows this means the end of his realm, but between that and Rosalina, he chooses her.
Aww.
Kell's fighting them, but there's too many for him to defeat alone, and despite his begging her to run, Rosalina calls out to the goblins and pierces the ice, trying to draw them close. Before she can do that, Kell breaks the ice on his side and plunges into the freezing water with the goblins. We're back with Rosalina again, where she's furious that Kell sacrificed himself to save her, because she was willing to face off against her biggest fear just to save him. The water is not a lake, but a river, and starts carrying the goblins and Kell off as Rosalina chases him.
Oh,
Rosalina feels a pull to where Kel is, and her thorn crown turns into a sword,
Ooh.
which she plunges into the ice over the river. Yeah, the thorns really like her.
Yeah.
She finds Kel unconscious in the water and tries to drag him out, but of course, as we remember, he is enormous and therefore way too heavy. But in the same way the Briars helped her not fall to her death when she first arrived and how they helped her heal the roses a bit, they come to her and wrap Caldarian up and drag him from the river. She collapses in exhaustion, but Kel wakes up and she wraps her arms around him and passes out. Kel carries her in wolf form to one of Ezrin's caves where
Back in the mouth you go.
That's where he likes her. He carries her in wolf form to one of Ezrin's caves where he keeps a cache of supplies, and she gets a fire going and starts using Ezrin's medical supplies to clean up Kel's wounds. Rosalina then takes off her wet dress and wraps herself in a blanket, cuddling up against Kel, only for the express purpose of keeping him warm and no other reason.
No, you have to get naked for warmth. Everybody knows that. You have to get naked if you're cold. And them's words to live and die by.
100%. Kel apologizes for everything, saying that when he told her to leave, he didn't think she'd leave the castle, and he knows what he needs to do now. She asks if he's cold and tells him she once fell through the ice. She says some kids in her town went off to go ice skating, and even though she wasn't invited, she bought some skates to join them, trying to be social. She fell through the ice, and Lucas saved her from drowning, and he was lauded as a hero by the town. Even though she'd been an outcast before, suddenly people liked her, and she felt like she owed Lucas her life. But Kel tells her that saving her didn't entitle him to anything.
This is his origin story. He just pulled her out of the river, and I guess I have to date him now.
Kel asks if she loved Lucas, and she says she thought she did, but that not all love is good, which Kel can relate to.
That's true.
Rosalina insists that he will find his mate, even though it hurts her to think of him with anybody else, and he says that he won't ever have one. He's adamant about this. They fall asleep together, and Rosalina dreams of some memories of Kel's, including him promising someone he'd do anything for them, and that someone saying back to him to prove it.
Oh.
When she wakes up, despite it still being night, Kel has transformed back into a human, and they're naked spooning. She can feel everything and is immediately horny.
I'm confused. So the whole time that they were cuddling naked, he was in wolf form?
He was.
Oh. And doing mind speak or wolf mouth speak?
I think he transformed into a wolf when they laid down to go to sleep.
Gotcha. Okay, that's fine.
She notices that in addition to their bargain bracelet, he actually wears another. Somehow, whatever magic Rosalina possesses has transformed him back into his fae form, even though, again, it's nighttime and not the full moon.
Oh, right. I've immediately forgotten half of the plot of the entire book where they turn at night. Oh, yeah, the nighttime.
Turns him into a wolf every time.
Yep.
He's on top of her, and she thinks that they're about to fuck, but he breaks away and shifts back into a wolf and tells her to go back to sleep.
She's just blue ball city.
Every single time, without fail.
It's rough. The last 60 pages of this book better be incredibly graphic to make up for this.
You're about to be disappointed.
Oh, please.
In the next chapter, Rosalina wakes up to Kel back in fae form making food for their journey. There's an awkwardness between them because they almost boned in this cave, and she thinks about how nobody's ever looked at her the way that he did, except maybe the other princes. Kel is acting off, though, and Rosalina asks if the others will be impressed when she tells them she rescued him, and he tells her that they worship her and she deserves no less. She says that she didn't do it alone and that the Briars helped, and Kel is bothered by this and tells her that the only one who can control them is Caspian, and that he's evil and been watching her this whole time. Saving Kel was only another manipulation by Caspian. Rosalina insists that the Briars don't feel evil and asks him why everyone says he aligned with Caspian if he's bad. He tells her none of her business and that his bargain with the Below doomed the entire Vale. Kel then says that he won't let Caspian take her and that she must go home before Castle Tree dies and nobody can be saved.
Go, save yourself.
You must run.
Let me die and perish here alone.
So emo.
Exactly.
Rosaline is confused by this, but Kel tells her she's done enough for them and that she's free.
You threw one party.
Literally.
And read a bunch of books, and now your service is done to the realm. Thank you very much.
Kel walks her through the forest to the rose bush she came through and gives her his mother's necklace to sell. Rosalina refuses to do that and doesn't want to go back to Orca Cove. He tells her that the bargain between them is complete and her duty fulfilled, and the bracelet on her wrist shatters.
No, her friendship bracelet.
Rosalina says that Castle Tree is her home, not Orca Cove, and begs Kel to let her stay. He carries her to the rose bush, but she says she'll always find her way back to him and asks him if she's his mate. Kel kisses her, doesn't answer, and then says that the way into the Vale is closed to her forever, and she falls through the vines and back into Orca Cove.
No!
I know.
No!
Our final chapter is from the perspective of Caspian, who's broken into Kel's room to call him pathetic, and notices that the entire room has been ripped apart. It's been a month since he sent Rosalina away, and Caspian says Caldarian's always been dramatic when it comes to love, that he would rather damn the entire Vale than break his curse.
He's just as dramatic as Caspian, if not more so.
They're made for each other, these
yes,
two.
It's ridiculous.
Kel tackles him and threatens to rip him apart, but Caspian says he would have done that when he first betrayed Kel if he was capable of it. Kel begs Caspian to, quote, break it, and Caspian says never. And he can't wait for Kel's self-control to falter and give in to Rosalina and the magic of their bargain to drop her right on Caspian's doorstep. And that's the end of Bonded by Thorns!
Oh, okay, so how many books are there? There's more books, yes?
Yes, the series is actually still ongoing.
Why did you do this to me, Marleigh? You didn't tell me this. Oh my gosh. How many books are out now? And how many till she gets an orgasm? This is actually the real question I have.
She does orgasm in the second book.
Oh, thank good God.
Yes, she does orgasm in the second book. I think the fifth one is coming out this year.
I need a cigarette. I don't smoke. But I think this might be the time to start.
I hope you guys enjoyed our journey through the Enchanted Vale with Rosalina and the Fae Princes.
I love how all of them fit together. I love how really distinct all of their characters are.
So much so. They each have such a unique voice, and I love the dynamics between all of them.
I'm very invested. This is a good one. I like this one.
This was such a fun ride. I knew you were going to love this one. I hope the rest of you did too. And tune in for the next episode. Tune in to see what surprises we bring next time.
Please don't blue ball me next time, though. Pick a one where by page 30 there's full penetration, please.
Done and done.
Yeah, like I need a blue ball palette cleanser. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you all again for listening. We are Book Emporium Podcast on Instagram and Book Emporium on TikTok.
You can reach out to us and give us book recommendations at our email, bookemporium@gmail.com, or you could contact us through the website. You could slide into our DMs, whatever you please.
Feel free to leave us a 5-star rating on wherever you're listening. Leave us a comment. We are so excited to hear from you guys about what you think about the episodes.
Yeah, we want to chat with you. Come talk with us. Come talk about books.
Yes. And we love you all so much, especially if you happen to be Elizabeth Helen.
Yes, we love you, love you, love you.
Love you the most.
Thank you for doing a good service for all of us kind people.
Yes,
we
indeed.
appreciate.
Indeed. All right, we'll see you next time.
Bye.